Sri Lanka, something that we take so much pride in. On stage, ladies and gentlemen, are two very, very distinguished individuals, both consultants in community medicine. Dr. Sudha Piris, consultant community physician, attached to the epidemiology unit for a long time, and who has been disseminating knowledge on this area to generations of public health professionals here and around the world. He joined WHO Timor-Leste some time ago, and also on stage is Dr. Nihala Besinger. He was the chief epidemiologist and later joined the WHO SEER office, and now is a member of parliament from the Kalutara district. He was a past president of the College of Community Physicians of Sri Lanka. So we call on stage this fantastic duo to tell the story of the evolution of the immunization program in Sri Lanka.
Dear sirs, madams, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. So again, as Mike said, that it is a privilege for us to be here, both of us. Mike said he was the GMO mother, but he didn't say he was done his internship also in mother. We were together, and so that we get into but both of us were doing our internship. So at those days, there's no SHOs, no there are registrars, there's no senior registrars, only the consultant and us. So he used to train us. So for the both of us, that VOG, we did the GenOps appointment, he used to train us to do a season in 2 weeks. So since then, for the whole 6 months, all seasons in that unit for the 6 months done by us. So we are so good of doing it. So we had a competition. So who will do fast from skin to skin? So when he do it 12 minutes, I used to do it 10 minutes. So when he do 10 minutes, I used to do it 8 minutes. So that's how we started our career, medical career. But default, as you know that, so as a post intern, so as he said that he went to Moravata, I went to Matale as a MOH. So that, so 10 years as a MOH, 5 years as a MOH, then 5 years as a regional epidemiologist. Again, as so that the way that we work as a MOH, that as Dr. Reggie Perra picked him up to become the administrator. So at that time, that the epidemiological unit, Dr. A.V.K. Silva, Dr. Ranjan Silva, Dr. Vijayakuru, was the way that we work. They picked us up as to do the epidemiology, and that made me a regional epidemiologist. I think I'm sure that the similar story has to tell to Nihal as well.
Okay, thank you Sudat, and thank you Kapila, thank you Santushya, and thank you Sujata. It was really Sujata who just phoned me and said that there is an event organized by the College of Community Physicians that she told me that it's something to do with storytelling. I didn't know what it was. But then she asked me whether I can join on the 20th. I was looking at my calendar. 20th is a parliamentary day, so I was not very sure. So then I told Sujata, I will try my best to join. Even up to yesterday, I was telling them I will try my best to join. But fortunately, these 3 days we were off because we have 159. So even during the budget, we were now divided into 2 groups, and one group looking after the periphery and the other group looking after the parliamentary affairs. So that's how we are working. Anyway, thank you very much for this invitation. And when I really heard from Sujata, she was telling me that to tell something about the immunization history. So how can I start? I mean, I was just like Sudat. I got my post-intern appointment at Matara as a RHO. And then, but I was looking for a MOH post. So during my faculty days, I decided to continue in public health, but I didn't have an opportunity just after my internship. So one Lena, what is Lena? Lena Dora. He got Ricky Lagaskada, and then then we discussed, and we had a mutual transfer, and then I went to Ricky Lagaskada as MOH. And then that's how I started my public health career, willingly joining the public health. And then actually, I know you know the stories. It was 1983. You wanted me to tell some story, no? It was 1983. Somewhere in early July, I came home. My mother was at Horana. I went to see her. And then on the way back in Colombo, I went to see my good friend, Professor Atula Sumatibala. And then when I went to his wife's house, Vijita's house, the mother and Vijita was there, and the mother was carrying me to the back home. I mean, there was a house behind. And then she took my hand, and then she wanted me to come to that house. I didn't know why, but I went there, and then I was asked to wait for some time, and then I was asked back to Gita's house, and I was told that Ayya, it was CID. CID was coming to Atula's house. Atula has already taken, the CID has taken Atula. That was just after that riots in 1983. I was Rigilagaskade Moish, and then Vijita told me, Ayya, I mean, they asked you about you also. So how are you going to manage now? I mean, I didn't have anything to do, but then I didn't really, I didn't want to do anything, but then I went back to Ricky Lagaskada. My wife was alone, and then I knew that they are going to take me to the custody the next day. So I had no opportunity, so I waited till the next day morning, and I told my wife I'll be arrested, and then don't worry, she was 5 months pregnant. But then she told me, okay, I mean, she was crying all night, and then early morning, whole army battalion came and, rounded up my quarters at Rigilagaskada. And then I was taken to CID here, and we were told that there's some coup has happened during that riot, and then we were kept for 4.5 months. And it was just because about in April we had one discussion with Comrade Rohana Vijayveera, and then we had a second discussion with Rohana Vijayveera around early July in 1983. We were discussing about developing a think tank for Sri Lanka. I mean, that was the discussion that we had. We had only 2 discussions, but unfortunately few of our friends have taken custody during that riot period, and then either they have disclosed or they had some evidence. So I mean, we were taken into the custody. 4.5 months we were there. I was interdicted, and then I was given back my post, but Dr. Mohan Rodrigo, the direct DDG Public Health, and he told me, now I can't give you back Rigilagaskada because you were there and you were taken to the custody while you were there in Rigilagaskada. So then I said, sir, I want to be in Rigilagaskada. But then he told me, you can ask anything, any other place. My wife's hometown was Anuradhapura. Then I asked whether you can give me Anuradhapura. He straight away said yes. So I went back to Anuradhapura. I did my internship, and I started doing public health, real public health in Anuradhapura. And in 1985, when I was coming from Tantrimalay clinic, there was a paper on my table saying that I have been selected for a scholarship, workshop in Gothenburg. I have never heard. So then I looked at the map and I found Gothenburg in Sweden, South Sweden. And then I went to see Dr. Varusavitana, who was the CMO at Gurunagala, because I didn't know what to do when I went for that type of workshop. And so that's how I started public health. And I continued in public health. And in 1986, actually, I was in the first batch of MSc. Oh, finishing. Sorry. So we haven't even started the. That's it. Okay. So we can.
Yeah.
We can.
So in the same manner. So it is very interesting to sort of for us to start that. So there is a sort of in our days the set program of career development to develop the equitable services that our legends started in. The same manner. So when I went to from internship at Mother MOH, after about 2 years, 1987, there was a huge outbreak of diarrhea. It's the first Shigella Shiga diarrhea, and it affected Mother town, 30,000 population, and in about 3 months, there was about 300 deaths in the 30,000 population. So about 30,000 cases admitted to the Mother hospital. And so about 300 deaths, huge. And so I can remember that. So I'm just a post-intern MOH, public health proper training. So that, but took the challenge. So I can remember a lot of stories. And Ranjit Adapattu was the Minister of Health that time. Dr. Joe Fernando was the DG. So many times, because it was sort of flashed in all the media during that time, and to sort of support me, to control me, there's no regional epidemiologist, there's no anyone else on sort of us, no, it is only the MOH and the head office and the epidemiology unit, that's all, that to sort of support us. So then I can remember, so that to control it, in one day I have decided to, so first time I look at the Food Act, and I saw that the amount of power vested with the MOH. And I decided there's 57 eating establishments from top to bottom. In one day, I sealed all 57. I sealed only 57. And then, at that time, the municipal commissioner, Ali Kaluwari, was the MP. So very powerful guy at that time, this government. And so that they were, I know that they were watching me, what I'm doing. And for that, but I said them, only I allowed them to open it up, because there was no potable water. So every eating establishment, there's only intermittent water. The big concrete tank behind every eating house, and there's a small bucket or tin. So same thing was used to sort of squeeze the coconut milk as well as same that they taken to the toilet. That's sort of the food hygiene at that time. So then allow this 57 one by one to open. Only they have a overhead tank, running water, and according to the food act, that local municipality bylaws, only it is open one by one, so that after 1 month, one by one allowed to open them. So after doing that, this epidemic was subsided. So that is how, so one example. So after doing that, all that, then the epidemiology unit, Mrs. Jakudu used to visit almost every week to sort of support me. And Dr. Ranjit Adapattu flew in several times by helicopter to see what is going on. In one, Premadasa was the president at that time. One fine day, Saivos went to the MOH office. Mr. Bogota Prema, boss, I am waiting in my front, this one. So this is all this, that sort of insurgent time. So Premadasa was, because it is so much of given publicity in the media, he was at that advisor to the, after his retirement as the director of examinations, he was advisor to the President Premadas. He was sent there, so sitting my chair in front of my table in office. And he started asking me. So he's a very gentleman, very calm, quiet fellow, and very calmly asked me what is going on. And that he was trying to understand. President Premadas sent me to understand whether I am also doing all these things as sort of a anti-government or sort of a something like that. So he asked me after he got the story, and he went back, and nothing happened, allowed me to continue my activity. So same way, after doing all these things, as he got a sort of a letter to go to Gothenburg, I got a letter to say I have selected for a WHO regional fellowship to see the public health services in WHO fellowship to go to. So we were sent to India 1 month as a post-intern medical officer, Malaysia 1 month, Thailand 1 month, and Indonesia 1 month. So we had a good for the first time. So that was the first foreign visit. So after till later that so that they show us that our sort of a capacity. That's how that those people they picked up the good people to the public care. The second, after about another 2-3 years, still I am with Madhuri as regional voice. Then I was given it's called an extra regional fellowship. So we were given a sort of another 6 months sort of a fellowship to go to Liverpool School of Public Health to learn epidemiology. So it is a course called, I think you also there in the same place, the 6 months course on epidemiology in action. And again, after another 2-3 years later, so we were given another fellowship to do a University of Brussels to study in biostatistics, masters in biostatistics and epidemiology at the Free University of Brussels. So that's how that the forefathers that developed our sort of a capacity in the meantime that we went to the PJ and got as money our the local public health qualification as well, and that they have picked up and let us to groom our career.
I think we have to finish by. So we will finish. We will find another day, no?
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
thank you very much. So next story will be say in the next occasion. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on this historic day I have fallen at the SLMA. I have also got to tell a member of parliament his time is up. So I feel very powerful, and also former secretary to the Ministry of Health. So a very, very memorable day for me. Next online is also my